Tyrese Maxey and now Jaylen Brown, who both averaged career highs in points per game last season. VJ Edgecombe finished third in Rookie of the Year voting last year, and then Joel Embiid averaged nearly 27 points per game last year, but he only played in 38 of those games. So who has more to lose this upcoming season for the Sixers? Is it LeBron or is it Embiid, Canty?
Oh, it's got to be Joel Embiid. I mean, LeBron's legacy is set. We know what the floor is. In a lot of books, it's the second greatest player to have ever laced him up. It's all upside for LeBron James in Philadelphia. Now, there is some risk associated with it because he decided to pass up on other places. But to me, this is about Joel Embiid because with LeBron, winning has followed him everywhere he's gone in his NBA career. He's gone to the finals in both stints with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He went to the finals with the Miami Heat. He went to the finals with the Los Angeles Lakers. And he won a championship with all of those franchises. If it doesn't happen in Philadelphia, then all of a sudden we'll look at the process and Joel Embiid as the face of that proposition and establish that Joel Embiid's legacy will forever be losing in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and that's why I say it's LeBron. LeBron has more to lose because if you think about it, Embiid only has something to gain. There's nothing to lose. When you think about Joel Embiid, what do you think about? The process. Trust the process. And you think about a long history of losing, not making it to the conference finals. His legacy is, I believe, set. It can only get better if they actually, two ways it gets better. If he makes it through the entire season on the Philadelphia 76ers roster, meaning not traded, which will be difficult to do, and
wait, Embiid, you're saying if he makes the entire season staying on the 76ers roster?
Correct.
Not traded during the season?
Correct. That's a win for him.
Okay.
That they don't trade him, okay?
But he is huge salary.
Right. Okay, I know.
Okay,
I know.
continue.
And then as you progress, if they are to win a championship. So that's increasing in the legacy. There's no decreasing. We only think he's an injured former MVP that, as Shea just said, makes too much money that some people believe, as Shea just said, is untradeable. Conversely, what if they're bad? What if they're not that good? What if LeBron is not 21-7-7 like we're accustomed to? Then what? You know what it is? In 20 years from now, we have the conversation where Shea says to her 5-year-old, hey, do you know what team LeBron finished his career on? Oh, yeah, the Lakers. No, he played a year for the Sixers that no one remembers. He has way more on the line, way more on the. If this goes wrong, and this is why I give him credit for this, he signed up for all of this. He signed up for this pressure. If this goes wrong, it's going to go horribly wrong with him.
It can go horribly wrong, but who are we going to blame for it? Certainly not LeBron James.
Why would we not blame LeBron James?
Why would we blame LeBron when he's won everywhere he's gone? I'm fascinated by this because I have a hard time seeing how he becomes the scapegoat for the failures that have already been happening since prior to getting to Philadelphia. If you want to blame him for not picking another franchise, sure. But certainly you're not going to blame him if things go off the rails. You're going to blame the guy who's never available. Joel Embiid in his career has missed damn near 500 games. Over the last 3 years, he's played in half of the amount of regular season games as LeBron James has. If Joel Embiid doesn't have success with LeBron James, we will look at Joel Embiid and say the process is a failure. Like, we already feel that way. And so if LeBron James can't exercise the demons that have been basketball with the Sixers over the last decade and a half, then nobody can. If Joel Embiid can't have success alongside LeBron James, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, he will never have success as one of the top players on a franchise.
You just made a great point, CC. You said that Joel Embiid is always hurt. If they don't win it all, it's on him because he's always hurt. LeBron didn't get traded there. He signed up for that. So if Joel Embiid is always hurt and LeBron said voluntarily, I will go there to join the guy who's always hurt, and he's hurt, and they don't win it all, how is that Embiid's fault? You know what you signed up for. That's on LeBron.
Well, no, you're saying how is it Embiid's fault? It's the player's responsibility to be healthy and available. That's a part of your job.
But of course, but we have enough of a sample size where if LeBron was worried about that causing him a title, he shouldn't have signed up to play there.
It does feel like this year with the process, whatever, everything's okay. We got Jaylen Brown, we have LeBron James. This core nucleus is essentially staying together. There's consistency with the head coach and Nick Nurse there. You're in a watered down East, if you will, although I think the East is going to be a lot better this year, right? But nonetheless, you don't have the Spurs and the Thunder in your conference. So it does feel like all the chips are in the middle. If you can't win in 2 years, let's say, with this group, it's a failure for everyone. But it does feel like because he's kind of the face of this process in Philadelphia, it's Embiid. LeBron's already won 3 chips. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He's won more than that. Sure. But has already won a chip with every other place he's been. He's been successful everywhere.
Understood. But again, if we're using the 2-year sample size, and then we use history to impact our opinion of the 2-year sample size, he has never won in year 1 upon arrival. That has not happened. He's been to the finals. Okay. So now I'm going to do, based on that, maybe eliminate year 1. So now year 2, more wear and tear on Embiid, et cetera, et cetera. LeBron has won everywhere he's been. That's correct. Embiid has lost everywhere he's been. So the winner signed up for the guy that is always hurt and always losing. So if that guy doesn't win and is hurt, that is what we signed up for. That is what he signed up for. So that's on LeBron. That's where LeBron takes the hit of, you made the wrong choice. You signed up to run with the wrong guy. That's why LeBron's legacy takes a hit. He signed up for the right place in Miami. He signed up for the right place the second time around in Cleveland. Now, you're a Lakers fan, CC. Technically, he signed up for the right place with Los Angeles.
So let me say this, because I don't believe he signed up for Joel Embiid. I think he signed up for Tyrese Maxey. He signed up for Jaylen Brown, right? That move by the Sixers. But that's my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. If it doesn't work out in Philly, you're not going to blame the guy that's making $3.9 million. You're going to blame the guy that's making $60. That's the reality of the situation. That's economics of sports. LeBron James signed up to play for Tyrese Maxey, who's a clutch client. He signed up to play with Nick Nurse, clutch client. Right. He signed up to play with Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe. The Joel Embiid of it all feels a bit of a throw-in, but I will say this. If it goes off the rails, if it doesn't work out, if they don't get to the championship rounds, of course, the face of that shortcomings will have to be Joel Embiid.
Well, then the process is still going. So then the process, in your mind, with the whole trust the process, it's still ongoing. Because in my head, the moment that Bob Myers takes a bigger role and Daryl Morey's out the door and Mike Gansey comes over from Cleveland and you get Jaylen Brown and you get LeBron James, that ended the process. If you're saying if they don't win it all and within the 2 years, and part of the reason is Embiid's health or lack of productivity in big moments, then the process continues. If he's the face of it. Because I don't look at him as the face of it anymore. I think he's been replaced.
Well, I think he's the face of failure in Philadelphia.
So he's the face only if it goes wrong?
Exactly.
So if it goes right, he doesn't get credit for it?
No, it'll be LeBron James.
Well, then he's not the face.
It'll be LeBron James.
The face means good or bad.
No. There's a difference between a face and a scapegoat. And I think that's what this is setting up for. There is that dynamic. If it is successful, it will be LeBron James bringing Willing to Philadelphia. This franchise hasn't been to a conference finals since 2001. They haven't won a championship in 43 years. So if they win when LeBron gets there over this next 2 years, it will be LeBron James as the catalyst for them winning, no matter what it looks like. If they lose, well, then all of a sudden, the process in all of the losing, the culture of mediocrity would be too much for the second greatest player of all time to overcome.
But what about Jaylen Brown? He's won a title. He's Finals MVP. Wouldn't we credit him for some of the winning he's done? I think it depends
I agree with that.
Who's the heartbeat of the team when all is said and done. But I would say maybe you could say that is the tide that lifts all the boats in Philadelphia.
What you just said is the single most fascinating part of the Philadelphia 76ers this year. LeBron is the face of the NBA, still arguably second greatest player of all time. As Tim McMahon on the Hoop Collective podcast says all the time, it's Embiid's franchise, it's Maxey's team. I've said, added to that, it's LeBron's season, and it's the Jaylen Brown question. What is Jaylen Brown with this team? Why did he want to potentially have a different role to be the number one guy in Boston? Because he proved in his mind he could do it. Why did we not laugh at the idea of him going to Milwaukee or Brooklyn? Because we thought if last year was his favorite year in the NBA, that would resemble going to Milwaukee or Brooklyn, where he's the guy. Tyrese Maxey, it's easy to envision sacrifice. Young player, defers to LeBron, says, hey, listen, for the next 2 years, make me into you. Easy. What is Jaylen Brown this year? Is he trying to be the best player on the team? Is he trying to just beat the Celtics? Is he trying to be a star in his role? What is he this year?
I will say this. He's the ultimate chip-on-the-shoulder player.
Yes.
And the Sixers have plenty of those. Because LeBron James, based on how things ended in L.A., chip-on-the-shoulder guy. Not only wasn't he the primary option, he wasn't the secondary option either. That was Austin Reeves. He was a tertiary option as a player that averaged 21, 7, and 6. So if you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, there are a lot of motivating factors that are external that they can use as a part of the motivation to go out there and have a deep playoff run. So I think the Sixers, if you want to look for a chip on the shoulder team this upcoming season, they're the one you tab in the NBA.
All right, the 76ers have not reached the conference finals since 2001. Now, I'm not saying finals, I'm saying conference finals. A lot on the line for that Sixers team in the East this year. Coming up next on First Take, is George Pickens the most important player to the Cowboys' success this season? Not Dak, George Pickens. Find out who here thinks a career year from the Cowboys wide receiver could have Dallas thinking Super Bowl. Seriously, more First Take next.